found our first 2 bucks. First 2 good bucks. Seen lots of deer so far, but found 2 good bucks bedded out in the field. One's butted right up against a little compressor, a little gas station, I guess. They're looking right at us, so we're gonna wait till they turn their heads and get a good look at them. Kenny says he knows which deer they are. He's been kind of watching them a few times, so. Brutal wind for it though. Unless the wind really picks up, it'll be a tough one.
A mule deer draw license is something that doesn't come around very often in Alberta, with most quality zones requiring upwards of 5 years to finally pull a tag. And with so many potential areas to find a giant buck in the province, I had spent weeks trying to decide where I wanted to take my chance. I knew we could head to our typical zone where we've killed plenty of giant bucks in the past few years. But the bucks are always bigger where you've never been, and the thought of exploring a new region of the province was just too much for me to pass up. Although I wasn't sure about my decision, I decided on a zone that I had never before stepped foot in, and the next 4 months would be filled with new adventures and new friends that were generous enough to help me along the way. And for that, I will be forever thankful.
I can't believe how close we got.
I can't believe that. Nothing was in our favor. I don't know how we got in that close. I made it. My feet are still dry.
Really good buck bedded. On that side hill he just went down. He's in a pretty decent spot. The wind's not supposed to be the best, but it's kind of a sheer rock face going down, and if we can get down there quietly, we might be able to get within range. He looks like a really good deer. But we're gonna grab our stuff, grab the bows, and start looking around there. There's no sense wasting any time. The wind's not going to get any better. We're not going to have any wind today, so we'll go try and put a stalk on him.
As a mule deer hunter, without a doubt one of the biggest challenges we'll face during the archery season is the wind. Trying to sneak within range of an old muley buck is extremely tough under the best circumstances, but trying to do so with next to no wind is almost impossible. And although we were finding good bucks in killable spots, we couldn't find an ounce of wind to save our lives, and the entire first week of hunting was filled with gorgeous muley bucks bouncing directly away from us, never to be seen again.
Fatal Impact is proudly sponsored by Top Grade Construction, PX2 Broadheads, Vortex Optics, Covert Scouting Cameras, Poacher's Corner, Bonescope. This segment of the show has been brought to you by the Municipal District of Bonnyville. Lake adventures happen here. This segment of Fatal Impact is brought to you by PX2 Broadheads, the toughest, most dependable broadhead on the market today.
Dana's out there right now. I think you can kind of see it. There's a granary on the edge of this farmer's field, and Dana decided to climb up to the top of it this morning because this is where we spotted a really nice buck last night. And he just texted me and said that he found the buck again. So he said he's gonna stay out there and get soaked and just watch this deer hopefully bed in the crop, because if he beds in the crop, then we have a good chance to stalk him today. So I'm crossing my fingers that this all works out. Even if we get a little wet, it'll be okay.
I've been watching this deer since last night, and then we found him again this morning. And he's been up for a long time, and he finally just bedded down at 9 o'clock. So it's an hour and a half past legal light. He was up feeding. It's freezing cold outside. Drizzling, freezing rain. The rain finally quit, but everything is iced up and cold. So we know where he's at. We can see his antler tips. He's in a good spot. Gonna wait for the wind to pick up, make a game plan, and move in on him. I would say we have a fairly decent chance. At least we stand a fighting chance. But it's gonna be cold and wet and a miserable stalk. I can see him. He's about 200 yards, maybe. Pretty sure he heard us already.
Oh man. The shot felt good, but he ducked really hard. We were well within range and the buck was completely relaxed with his head in the crop. As I released my arrow, the shot felt perfect, but he still managed to duck completely below the crop level and spin away, causing my arrow to hit him right in the base of his antlers, taking nothing more than a tuft of hair and my pride. We had done everything right, and we were finally given our one opportunity that we had worked so hard for. And just like that, we blew it. And I didn't want to admit it, but I had nobody to blame but myself.
Fatal Impact is proudly sponsored by Municipal District of Bonnyville, Matthews Archery, Victory Archery, Bike Tricks Electronic Bicycles, 365 Archery. This segment of Fatal Impact is brought to you by Top Grade Construction in Lloydminster for all of your construction needs.
On our way down to hunt mule deer, and we got a disgusting snowstorm, which is going to be good for the deer hunting, but terrible driving, so we got a couple more hours to go. Hopefully we can make down there. This is disgusting.
With only one legitimate opportunity at a good buck throughout the archery season, I found myself in the middle of November with my tag still in my back pocket. Now normally this time of year, we have our butts glued to a tree stand for 9 hours a day in the bush hunting whitetails. But luckily for us this year, we had already killed 3 of our biggest bucks to date and were left with a few days to sneak away from my muley draw.
There's Joe getting chased over here.
Sun's finally coming up. Beautiful sunrise behind us, so cold weather, middle of November. Bucks should be rutting, so we're gonna keep covering ground and try and find a big old mule deer. We got a couple days to get it done, so we've been seeing some deer. It's not the one we want yet. A couple other hunters ripping around too. That's what you get. Keep covering some ground. Look at the neck on him. Big bladed back fork. Yeah. Finally found a big deer that we're after. He's probably a 170 class deer. He's big neck, big sole neck. He's a mature buck for sure. So he's bedded. He had a doe with him, and he's facing away from us. So it's gonna give us a good chance to sneak in there and try and get into position for a shot. Get him to stand up or wait for him to stand and hopefully get a good shot on him.
Okay, so I was pretty close to that spot right there.
Oh yeah, it's not that big.
No.
Not at all.
Old face, like he's an old deer, but he's not nearly as wide as we thought either.
It's just because we're looking at
The back profiles.
See, he's not even outside his ears.
That deer looked a lot better than he was when we found him. He was back profile. We thought he was a 170 class deer. And we got up here, and when he finally turned around to look, he was an ancient old deer. Like his face was just run down, scars, his back had a bunch of holes in it, and crazy old deer, but It's tough to shoot that on the first day. He's gorgeous. He had a big bladed left back fork, but they weren't real deep. You know, he wouldn't have scored well, which isn't everything for me, but I think we can find a better deer. I think we can.
As luck would have it, we found a beautiful buck later that evening skylined on the edge of the river. And as much as I would have loved to take that deer, it was a shot that no hunter should ever take, so we were forced to let him go.
That one's a good buck, yeah. So be on the one side he's the typical 4, and then the other side's got the extra point on the top, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. $270.
Yes.
Good job, man. Good job. Awesome.
Oh, that's a good buck. That's a damn good deer.
Right on.
We just got into position 270 yards and the doe spotted us and she started to head up the hill. So he went a little bit. As soon as he stopped, turned broadside, I put the vortex crosshairs on him and I'm sure I pounded on the first shot.
You did, yeah. You hit him first
I
shot.
thought so from here.
And then he went, stopped again, and I threw another one at him and I thought I hit him then too. We'll have to check. And but I couldn't see where he was bleeding. And he went through, and then he got wobbly and fell over. So he is down, yes.
That's good deer.
This segment of the show has been brought to you by Covert Scouting Cameras.
He's right here. We walked right by him. We snuck up. We thought he was over here on this side of us and he's in a little hole there. This morning we got some snow, so we figured it was going to be a good day and we hadn't seen a whole lot of deer. And then we come into this spot and we've seen this guy up on top chasing a doe with a couple smaller bucks and decided he was definitely one that would work. So we tried to sneak into position, got to about 300 yards and set up and made a couple good shots on him. Can't thank you enough for having us down here, Jesse. It's been a blast.
No problem, man.
Definitely helped us out a lot. Would have been tough to kill a deer without you. So I've been down here a couple times in the archery season and we seen some decent deer and we had some opportunities, but weren't able to get it done. And thankful to come down here and shoot one with the rifle. So first year we've ever actually snuck away from whitetail hunting back home in November to come chase mule deer, and I'm about ready to crawl back in the whitetail stand and sit a few more days. So that's where we'll be heading tonight. Get them all packed out of here and head her home. So it's been good. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed chasing mule deer, and chasing them in the rut was even funner. So they were definitely going hard.
Yeah, they were rutting pretty hard the last couple of days, for sure. Lots of bucks running around.
Yeah.
Seen a pile of deer.
Yeah.
Tons of deer, no doubt about that.
Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it.
Well done.
It's been good.
I must admit that when I pulled this tag 4 months ago, I expected this hunt to go a lot different. But I suppose that's one of the greatest parts about hunting. The people that I met and the friendships that I built with this tag are things that I will always cherish. And I can't thank these people enough for taking the time out of their own lives to help a fellow outdoorsman such as myself. They will never know how much it truly meant to me, and I sincerely hope that I can return the favor someday down the road.